All right, Black Barn Social Club, God bless America. Take two. I don't know if I ever came out and told you guys, I am not a professional at this. I struggle. I'm not technically stupid. In fact, a lot of what I do has been based on a whole lot of technology. But when it comes to cameras and that kind of stuff, I struggle. So, if you haven't already caught the other video, it was very dark, dimly lit, and grainy. And so what I've been doing is I obviously have tried to upgrade a microphone. I upgraded the camera. I did a lot of different stuff, and I'm piping it all through this MacBook and using software, and then I'm having to convert that and all the stuff that you don't care anything about. But I realized it was bad. It was bad. So this is my second chance to get it right. And what you'll notice on the desk is, like I said, play on words. I've got a time machine. I can make as many videos as I want. So I'm going to leave the other one up because it's not hurting anything. But you guys tell me if this is better. If this is better, it looks better. It looks better. The White's semi-dress boot in what we think is British Tan CXL. So hopefully this thing doesn't shift and mess with you and all that, but I had to ask Instagram what this color was because I bought these used and they didn't tell me. They just said tan. And there was no box, so there was nothing to look at. But this is the semi-dress boot with the double leather midsole, split sole, Vibram, I guess V705 front sole, Quabug, heel lift, leather shank, and obviously, like I said, double leather sole there. I'm still kind of getting used to this setup and the microphone, so I'm probably all over it, breathing into it. You guys just, again, keep giving me good feedback. I'm going to keep trying to make the quality better, but at the end of the day, I'm just trying to show you some cool boots. Again, these are used, so you get two for the price of one when you go used. These boots right here, you'd already seen a video of these. I might have to redo it if it was just as dark. But this boot, brown CXL, perforated cap toe. The only thing different about these two, if you'll look at them, the split sole has the extra thick double layer of leather midsole, and this one has the Vibram midsole going all the way through the heel. So you can definitely see the difference, in how they're constructed. This one is, I'm not going to lie, I do like the perforated cap toes a little bit better. I mean, that's my jam, if I had such a thing. But that's not bad. That's not bad either. And when you get them both on eBay, new, both of these, this one being lined like this is, I would say this is closer to an $825 boot new. And this one was $740, just like it sits, new. So as I'm looking at them, the fact that I got both of them for sub $700 in the condition they're in, I think that's just an insane value, And so let me tell you, let me try to start over. And I know it's confusing because I've already done this video once today, but since you couldn't see it and it was grainy, here I am back to do it again. So the things that I like about the semi-dress boot, and I think they call it the original semi-dress boot, the big and most important factor, and you can, if you go through Baker's or maybe even watch directly, you can get it built on different last. But in this case, both of these are on the 55 Arch Ease last. And I really like the 55 last. The toe box has plenty of room for me. These are both 10.5E. So again, keep in mind that is one full size down from my Brannick, and being an E width, it's a little bit wider than my Brannick. But plenty of toe box room for me. I like the low profile toe. There's a little bit of there is a Scholastic toe, which brings me to a point I brought up earlier. What I like about whites, compared to like a Nick's or something like that, and I'm not picking on Nick's, I just saw it in several pair of Nick's, and when it's one of those things, when you see it, you can't unsee it. But on a bunch of Nick's, it's almost like their Scholastic toes are mismatched to the last, or maybe they're trying to get. And I got to credit Gabe to saying something that made me think of it this way. Gabe was talking about the facing on some boots that he had gotten, and how they appear to be closer and closer and closer, not like they used to be. And then I think he or somebody in the comments had said maybe it's because they're using panels from multiple sizes. So in other words, if you cut all these panels, and you would use the same panel for a 10.5, 11, 11.5, 12. And so depending on what size you ordered, would it look proportionately bigger? Well, that's the way I feel about these Scholastic toes on a lot of Nick's boots. I feel like when I have seen, in the one pair that I'm talking about that I had, I couldn't unsee it. Every time I looked down at my foot, I would see that Scholastic toe just too pronounced. And it felt like it was too big for the boot. It felt like it was too big for the size. Maybe it would have looked better in a double E or or one or two sizes larger, but maybe these companies are just grabbing out of this, one bin to keep their costs down, and they're not worried about how unattractive it makes that boot look. I don't notice it that bad on these whites. I mean, I don't see it at all, though it is there. Now, that being said, I think I do prefer an unstructured toe, but this doesn't bother me because, again, it still looks like it's good and low. You still got a little bit of a toe bump there. I just love the color. I love the arch support. I love a split toe, and someday, I know I said it earlier, but someday I'll take a boot like this and I'll get it special made with a thicker, like a Dr. sole or something like that. I just love those really thick, chunky split soles. Things that I am growing to like. Both of these boots have a logger heel, which is that scalloped, heel. I think it looks better for me. I've seen them on plenty of tall boots, 7, 8 inch tall jumper boots, things like that. But these are 5 inch in the semi-dress boot. It's a 5 inch shaft. And so I think it looks proportional. I think that works. And let me make sure that I'm kind of showing you what I'm talking about. I just think that's a good look. Now, the things that make a semi-dress different than some of the other panels and whatnot, single back stay. This stitching comes clean around here. And that's kind of the primary thing that I've seen on all these semi-dress boots is that stitching. It's just showing you a different pattern. I love how the whites boots have this, this big return after the heel. It really fits you well. And you notice stuff like that. The more I've talked about this before too, the more you wear, the more you mess with other makers. Like I've got a wicked nice set of John Lofgren engineers, and I notice all kinds of heel slip in them. So it's, just walking around. I mean, I've worn them a few days into the office, but I notice that my heel is swimming in them. Now, it's not enough to make me want to, throw the boots away just yet, but when you put something like this on, that they've, like I said, they've locked it in. It's a different fit, different feel, not near as much movement around the heel. Things that started to bother me, or maybe initially bothered me about whites, and I'm learning to appreciate. When you see these boots, especially the MP Shermans, and they're hand lasted, hand welted, hand bottomed, all the hand stuff. Now, we've talked about that, and we can until we're blue in the face. Sometimes that's a trade-off. Sometimes you feel like you're getting something special. Sometimes you feel like you got something sloppy. I don't see any slop in these. I don't see anything, given they're secondhand, and so they are worn a little bit, but I can't see anything on here that would have bugged me or bothered me, had it come out of the box this way. They've got this hand welting on the stitch down portion that is very much, I've called it lumpy before. And so I hope you can see that. Like I said, at first I was looking at it and I thought, man, that looks, like I said, it's lumpy. The spacing is large compared to, the stitches per inch they're broader. It's a little bit more crude than your Vibergs and your like your Indonesian boots and things like that. It's not quite so precise, but it doesn't bother me as much either, especially when you're talking about getting them, used for a bargain. What else do I want to say about this boot? I can't get over how comfortable they are. I think I said it in this review on the brown CXL version. What I kind of like, don't get me wrong, a lot of the boots that I've got now are going more towards that almond-toed, dress, MP, service boot type boot. But it is nice to be able to look down and see a chunky boot, and that's what I get out of these. When you're wearing them, they really are. The name works. It's a semi-dress boot, which means almost. It's close to being a dress boot, which I can get away with where I work. I can get away with it, but I like looking down there and seeing that thick, chunky toe box coming out from my pants. It's just a cool. Like I said, it's cool. Now I'm not jumping all over the PMW train. I just think that they make a nice boot. I was talking to somebody on my Instagram comments, and they said they were getting rid of all their Trumans, maybe except for a pair or two, and they were just converting over to whites, and I don't blame them. The whites. So counting what I've got now, I've got the cinnamon waxed flesh CMP Sherman. And I've got these two pair of semi-dress 55 last. When I got that cinnamon wax flesh CMP Sherman, I immediately fell in love with that last as well. It's a little bit dressier, a little bit more of that almond toe. And when I got it, I went ahead and ordered that exact same boot in natural CXL, which to me, with the perforated toe cap, everything just like it sits on that boot, I ordered it exactly in natural CXL because I feel like that is my boot spirit animal. I think a natural CXL boot, if I could get it with that 50-50 last, with that arch support, with the perforated cap toe, dressy almond toe, I really, really think when I get that, it's going to make me pause on buying a lot. Now, if you're out there, we're all collectively rolling our eyes at even the thought of making that statement, but I'm being serious. I don't know when I'm this happy with how they fit and support me underfoot. I don't know how you can get much better than that by just continuing to do this buying stuff. So I may take some pointers from that fella and just start selling some other stuff, so that I can keep getting more of what I want. So I don't know if I've covered everything because, again, it's been a blur of a morning messing with all this stuff and trying to get it better. So you guys, please let me know if this is better. If this works, I'll quit trying to tinker with it. I'll quit trying to move around because, it frustrates me too. This is insane trying to get all this stuff to work together, and then by the time I transfer it and do all that downloading and stuff, it doesn't come out right. But I promise you, stick with me, we'll get better. Let me know what you think. Did I miss anything on the second take of this video? And I'll do one quick look around Did I show you everything about it? Did I tell you everything about it? I like them, y'all. I mean, this is a good boot. So you guys be blessed. Depending on what I sell next or do next, I may see myself. The only boot left from White's that really has, I don't know. Here I go again. I have seen the 350 cutters. I could see myself trying one of those. The Stevens boot, which is one full step closer to dress, I may have to tug on that just to see if I like it. So you guys be blessed. Thank you for all the feedback that you guys are giving me and helping me improve. Thank you for following. I really do appreciate all you guys. Like, subscribe, share, do all the things. Y'all be blessed.